Imagine a 10-year-old boy alone in his bedroom at midnight, pink hat hiding bruises from babysitter beatings, talking to goldfish bowl reflections he calls Cosmo and Wanda, fairy godparents who grant wishes his absent parents never hear, magic that resets abuse cycles every 22 minutes, rules so elaborate they mirror a neglected child's desperate attempt to make abandonment logical. Timmy Turner doesn't have fairy godparents. He has dissociative coping mechanisms, imaginary friends birthed from parental neglect so severe it drove him to construct fantasy parents who actually listen, who stay, who care. This isn't whimsical Nickelodeon magic. This is clinical childhood trauma survival, disguised as wish-granting comedy for 3 million weekly viewers who never knew they were watching a neglect manual, not a cartoon. Welcome to Toon Truth Exposed, where we animate Reddit's darkest fan theories to excavate forbidden truths buried in your childhood. Our 6th transmission cracks open the Nickelodeon 2001 to 2017 vault, dissecting the Fairly OddParents, the deceptively colorful series fans theorized concealed parental neglect, child abuse, dissociative disorders, and imagination as survival across 172 episodes. Over the next 25 minutes, we decode the viral 2014 theory that exposed Timmy's fairies as imaginary coping, frame-by-frame evidence, proving wishes are dissociative resets, canonical parental abandonment that validates the theory, Vicky as real abuser, not comic relief, the rules as trauma-imposed limits, and cultural wounds proving. Fairly OddParents wasn't just wish fulfillment, it was neglect therapy. Subscribe now. Every Tuesday, another animated revelation shreds your nostalgia to expose the abandoned child beneath. Descend with me into Dimsdale, a suburban hellscape where 10-year-old Timmy Turner endures parental emotional abandonment. Parents leave him with sadistic babysitter Vicky nightly. Constructs pink and green fairy godparents Cosmo and Wanda, who materialize only when he's alone, wishes that warp reality then reset to torturous baseline, the rules preventing permanent escape, and 172 episodes cycling abuse with no resolution. Surface level, magical wish-granting adventures. Hidden code, dissociative identity disorder veiled through animation, brilliance. The Fairly OddParents. Theory exploded July 2014. YouTube analysis. Timmy's tragic truth accumulated 900k views, exposing fairies as imaginary neglect, coping. Reddit to FanTheories, September 2018. Post detailed full framework. Cosmo Wanda, =, imaginary parents compensating for absent real parents. Wishes =, dissociative fantasies resetting to protect psyche. Vicky =, real abuser. Crocker =, obsessed teacher, sensing something wrong. Poof arrival =, real baby brother, destabilizing fantasy. Theory resonated because canon parental neglect undeniable. Vicky's abuse too realistic for comedy. Timmy's desperation palpable. But creators never debunked. Silent validates. Fairly OddParents delivers crypt-sealed proof across 172 episodes. The original 2014 to 2018 theory framework outlined specific trauma mechanics. Timmy Turner suffers severe parental neglect. Mr. and Mrs. Turner prioritize themselves obsessively. 162 episodes document parents abandoning Timmy for trivial pursuits, bowling, bingo, vacation without him. Emotionally unavailable, 0 meaningful conversations documented. Hire Vicky, despite Timmy's pleas she tortures him. Gaslighting parental denial. Canonical neglect episode. Channel Chasers, 2004 movie. shows adult Timmy traumatized, reveals parents never noticed his suffering, validates childhood abandonment. Timmy constructs Cosmo and Wanda as idealized fairy godparents. Pink, Wanda, maternal warmth his mother denies. And green, Cosmo, goofy father figure his dad isn't. Appear only when Timmy alone, imaginary friend mechanism. Grant wishes fulfilling unmet needs, love, attention, safety, disguised as goldfish, dissociative object anchoring. Wishes function as dissociative episodes. Reality warps temporarily granting fantasy, then back to normal resets. Classic trauma dissociation, where mind escapes abuse briefly before harsh reality returns. Dire rules act as trauma-imposed limitations. Can't wish for love, reflecting his loveless reality. Can't wish parents gone, guilt over anger at neglectful parents. Can't tell anyone about fairies, secrecy trauma survivors internalize. Elaborate rules make abandonment feel controlled/logical. Child psychology, traumatized kids create rigid rules to manage chaos. Vicky represents real abuser, sadistic babysitter, torture too realistic, psychological abuse, physical threats, isolation. Parents ignore Timmy's complaints, enabling abuse, classic pattern. Timmy's terror genuine, not comedic. Crocker's obsession, fairy godparents, suggests he senses Timmy's dissociation, lost own fairies, childhood trauma parallel. Backstory confirms neglected past. Poof's arrival, baby brother 2008, destabilizes fantasy, real sibling forces. Timmy to share imaginary parents triggers jealousy/regression. Documented episodes show Poof resentment. Frame-by-frame canonical evidence mounts relentlessly. Episode 1x01, The Big Problem. Timmy wishes to be adult to escape childhood suffering. Wish fails miserably, forced back. Establishes no escape from abuse baseline. Episode Channel Chasers, 2004. Adult Timmy reveals traumatic childhood. Parents never noticed pain. Marries Tootie, fellow abuse survivor. Keeps trauma secret from own kids. Confirms unresolved PTSD. Episode It's a Wishful Life, 2005. Timmy shown world without him. Everyone happier. Suicidal ideation, subtext abuse survivors recognize. Episode Abra Catastrophe, 2003. Wishes become permanent chaos. Timmy desperate return to normal abuse cycle. Trauma bonding, prefers known suffering to unknown freedom. Parents characterized 172 episodes. Utterly self-absorbed, prioritize hobbies over Timmy's safety. Emotionally neglectful, zero empathy for his fears. Enable Vicky, despite evidence. Gaslight Timmy's abuse, claims she's not that bad. Leave him alone, chronically. Vicky's abuse, 162 episodes. Psychological torture, degrades Timmy, isolates him, threatens. Physical intimidation, looms over him, destroys possessions. Sexualized undertones, power dynamics disturbing for children's show. Cosmo Wanda, only appear when Timmy isolated. Bedroom, parents absent. School bathroom, alone. Forest, abandoned. Never manifest when real adults present. Imaginary friend rule. Wishes reset every episode. No lasting change. Abuse cycle perpetual. Dissociative temporary escape. Then crash back. Day rules. Book 89 episodes. Absurdly elaborate restrictions mirror traumatized child's need for control. Can't interfere with true love. Reflects loveless home. Lose fairies if reveal secret. Enforces isolation trauma demands. Crocker's backstory, Season 3, The Secret Origin of Denzel Crocker, reveals parallel trauma. Neglected child who had fairy godparents, lost them traumatically. became obsessed adult hunting. Proof. Mirrors Timmy's future if he doesn't escape cycle. Crocker's mother implied neglectful, his childhood lonely. Fairies his only comfort, then ripped away. Validates theory, fairies equal sign. Dissociative coping neglected kids create. Anti-fairies / pixies as shadow selves. Anti-Cosmo represents Timmy's repressed anger. Pixies represent his desire for rigid control over chaos. Jungian psychology. Shadow projections, abuse survivors manifest. Parental characterization pathologically neglectful. Mr. Turner. Infantile. Prioritizes own fun over son's safety. Dismisses Timmy's needs. Competes with him for attention. Narcissistic traits. Mrs. Turner. Equally self-absorbed, shopping / socializing obsession. Ignores Timmy's distress. Defers to husband's negligence. Combined effect. Emotional abandonment. Timmy invisible in own home. Parents treat him as inconvenience, not child requiring care. Episode The Secret Origin of Denzel Crocker flashback shows Timmy's parents' identical neglect 50 years ago. Generational trauma cycle. They were neglected too. Perpetuate abuse unknowingly. Vicky's sadism enabled. Parents hire her 162 episodes despite Timmy's terror. Gaslight his complaints. Prioritize convenience over his safety. Child abuse enablement clinical pattern. Dimsdale adults oblivious. Teachers, neighbors ignore Timmy's suffering. Community neglect mirrors real-world failures protecting abused kids. Psychological deep dive. Dissociative identity disorder unlikely. Fairies aren't full personalities. But maladaptive daydreaming disorder fits. Excessive fantasy to escape intolerable reality. Vivid imaginary worlds. Difficulty distinguishing fantasy from reality. Neglect / trauma trigger. Attachment disorder. Timmy's desperate clinginess to Wanda, surrogate mother. Idealization of imaginary parents. Real parents failed attachment. Fear of abandonment. Loses fairies multiple episodes. Panic attacks. Depression. Suicidal ideation episode. It's a wishful life. Chronic hopelessness. Wishes never permanently improve life. Anhedonia. Joy only in fantasy. Misery in reality. Anxiety. Hypervigilance around Vicky. School performance struggles. Neglected kids' academic issues. Social isolation. Peers mock him. No real friends except Chester AJ, who also neglected. Learned helplessness. Returns to abuse baseline every episode. Doesn't seek real help. Authorities. Therapy. Accept suffering as inevitable. Abuse psychology. Classic pattern. The rules as trauma logic. Can't wish for more wishes. Equal sign scarcity. Mindset neglect instills. Can't wish someone dead. Equal sign guilt over anger at parents. Can't wish for love. Equal sign belief he's unlovable. Lose fairies if reveal secret. Equal sign shame / secrecy trauma demands. Can't interfere with godchild's education. Equal sign internalized parental neglect. They don't care about his schooling. Elaborate rule book. Hundreds of restrictions. Mirrors traumatized child's magical thinking. If I follow enough rules perfectly, maybe I'll be loved. Jordan's rule. Godparents must grant wishes. Enslaves Cosmo Wanda. Timmy's need for guaranteed care imagined entities can't abandon like real parents. Cultural context. 2001 to 2017 run. Nickelodeon post 9/11 childhood anxiety. Latchkey generation neglect, normalization. Dual income family epidemic. Parents absent working. Tough love, 90s parenting backlash, harmed kids. 3 million weekly viewers 2002 to 2006 peak processed own neglect through Timmy's suffering. Merchandise sanitized trauma. Cosmo Wanda plush toys can't encode dissociation. Video games eliminate abuse baseline. Creator Butch Hartman, devout Christian, embedded moral lessons but never addressed theory. Silence damning. Series finale ambiguous. Timmy grows up, keeps trauma secret. Cycle continues. No healing, just survival. Voice cast in coded melancholy. Tara Strong, Timmy voice, in 2018. Interview noted, Timmy's loneliness was sometimes hard to voice. Felt real pain behind comedy. Darren Norris, Cosmo voice, joked about characters' stupidity masking depression. Suzanne Blakesley, Wanda voice, described maternal instinct voicing her, unconsciously playing idealized mother figure. Gray Delisle, Vicky voice, admitted discomfort voicing cruelty toward child character. Butch Hartman never debunked theory, despite awareness. 2015 fan Wanda dodged question about Timmy's trauma, smiled knowingly. Reddit ecosystem sustains theory. Are FanTheories? 2018 detailed post, 2.7k upvotes, 400 plus comments, outlined full neglect framework, no creator denial. A's or Fairly OddParents, subreddit, debates theory monthly. YouTube 2014 original video, 900k views, comments overwhelmingly validate, abuse survivors recognize patterns. TikTok 2024, mental health analyses 8M plus views, diagnose Timmy with dissociative coping. Fan testimonies, Timmy mirrored my latchkey childhood. Parents like his, I created imaginary friends too. Vicky reminded me of real abuser. Show helped me recognize neglect wasn't normal. Academic interest emerging. Child psychology forums discuss Fairly OddParents as neglect case study. 2022 thesis, Imaginary Friends as Trauma Response in Children's Media, cited Timmy Turner. Series retrospectives validate darkness creators embedded. Parental neglect undeniable across 172 episodes. Vicky's abuse too realistic. Timmy's desperation authentic. Production details, Butch Hartman's Oh Yeah. Cartoons pilot, 1998. Introduced Timmy, already neglected, already desperate. Series Bible mandated reset button endings. Prevents healing, perpetuates abuse cycle intentionally or accidentally. Network censors allowed remarkable darkness, psychological abuse, suicidal ideation, generational trauma, suggesting creators fought to embed truth. Hartman left Nickelodeon 2018 amid controversies, theory never officially addressed. Series finale, Channel Chaser's future shows adult Timmy still traumatized, hides pain from own kids, cycle unbroken. Trauma doesn't end, survivors manage it lifelong. The crypt cracks, Fairly OddParents, transcends wish fulfillment. Survival manual for invisible neglect, wars inside abandoned kids, mirrored for millennials decoding their latchkey childhoods decades later. Timmy Turner survives not through magic, but dissociative fantasy defense against unbearable parental abandonment. Nickelodeon fed neglect therapy to 3 million weekly viewers, disguised as wish-granting comedy. Thanks for excavating abandonment truth with Toon Truth Exposed. If Timmy's imaginary fairies rewire your nostalgia into recognition of childhood neglect, smash subscribe. Weekly Reddit theory animations drop every Tuesday. Next transmission, Powerpuff Girls, Dissociative Identity Disorder, Exposing Chemical X Trauma. Notifications on. Truth hunts the abandoned.